Okay, this is Thorn. He kind of got startled and went down below. We're going to throw a red runner in here and see if we'll get him to come up, or the red runner will go down. And we may have to get the tripod down off the stand. Let's go ahead and move you guys down. We'll film it through the side. Sometimes I just can't anticipate where there's Thorn right there. Where the roach is going to go. I was kind of hoping it would hit that web and kind of get stuck. There he goes. He's an excellent eater. Beautiful. Look at him. Look at that guy. I mean, come on. How could you not want a tan, blonde, beautiful spider like this with a black butt? Great eater. Let's do an upgrade. I mean, he's fine in here right now. Don't get me wrong. He could probably stand to go through another molt, so I'm not going to rush and hurry up and throw him into something. But yeah, within the next month or two, I'll be upgrading him into something a little bit taller and wider. But he's doing great. And the two Armenia slings still haven't taken their meal yet, so we're going to try to feed the mature male Psalmopoeus armenia. I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to catch it on film if he does actually take anything, but we'll go ahead. He's the last Psalmopoeus that needs to eat. Totally, I have 3 Armenias, 3 Cambridgei, 2 Reduncus, and 4 Pulchers. I'd like to get a couple of the Ecclesiasticus and the Victories and the Emeraldus. I know the Ecclesiasticus you can get here in the States now. I'm not quite sure about the other 2. I haven't really seen any of them yet. So yeah, I'd like to have all the, the Salmos that are in the hobby. I know the Victorias are probably going to be kind of pricey. So it probably may be something that I do a little bit later on when I start thinning down some of my collection, to get to the point where I'm going to deal with a handful of genus and then just have a group of ones that I just keep solely, just one of that species. And I'd like to keep the Brackies and my Salmos, and those are probably the genus that I really want to work with, maybe the Phaunopelmus. I like the pokies, but I'm not a pokey freak like a lot of other keepers are. I would never get rid of my Fusca, but the other ones, I wouldn't mind. If I didn't have them, it wouldn't hurt me to say, oh God, I don't have a Regalis or I don't have Metallica. I just they don't do it for me like some of the other species do. So especially the Psalmopoeus, I just adore this genus. I can't even really pin down. I think it's the Pulchers that really have done it for me. But if you look at the Armenias and the Cambridgeis and the Pulchers and the Reduncus, what they look like when they're adults, they're just amazing species. And you can put them in nice tall enclosures, and you can give them plants, you can give them wood, you could give them dirt. They'll burrow, they'll climb, they'll web. So you kind of get the best of all the worlds there with these. And they're quick, they're good eaters. They don't kick hairs, so I think that's part of my draw to this genus, period. So we're going to cut this guy off, and we're going to try the mature male Armenia, and that'll be the last Psalmopoeus of this video. Okay, last but not least, this is the recently molted mature male. At least I'm pretty sure he's mature male. He has no black coloring left in him. He's pretty grayed out. I haven't seen his pedipalps to completely confirm, because he doesn't like to come out at all. This was a spider I got the same time that I got Salem in, back in November of 2015, and it has grown like a weed It's only been in 3 different enclosures, this being the last. I was going to put in something bigger, but again, with mature males, I don't like to give them too much wandering space. I just think that it just drives them nuts. I could be wrong, but I like to let them just kind of stay still and stay put and not have to move too much looking for females. But this one never, ever, ever climbed anything. So after trying to figure out what's going on, and then reading a lot about them, where they actually are located in Venezuela, and what they live on, they're more of a bush kind of a tarantula. They will climb. And what I'm hearing from other keepers is that the females, as the females start to get bigger and mature, they will be up higher more than down lower, or the males tend to stay down lower more often. What that reason is, I can't tell you. But what I put in here was a hand little skeleton, some leaves, and then a piece of cork bark tube. And when he first got in here, he made his home underneath the sleeve. That's where he was constantly. And then I found that he dug underneath the cork bark and was kind of going in between. When he molted inside, and that's where he is right now. And I'm not even saying that if I put him in something bigger or different that had a higher cork tube that he wouldn't climb. I just have not seen it, so I just kind of set the enclosure up to what my particular specimen exhibited and its behavior. I wanted it to be comfortable in what it lived in. Again, we're probably not even going to get a feeding video out of this, but we'll attempt it. And I'll show you, these are just kind of stupid little tricks that I picked up over the course of the last couple years. You can see the way that I've drilled the holes. Now the holes are big enough to fit, most of them are big enough to fit these skewers down inside of them. So because of the contour of the jar itself, if you put holes up higher, you could kind of stick this down inside if you need to move things around, or if you need to move the webbing out of the way to see, or try to manipulate some of the the prey items to get them to move, or if you need to get the spider out to check on it, which I don't do very often, but I did do with him. I did kind of get down inside the burrow and had him come out this little area right here, just to try to get a shot of his pedipalps, and he still didn't really cooperate really well. But it's again, it's another way of not having to get inside the enclosure with the top off. You could feel more secure because a spider's not coming out because you're doing it with the top on. This one I didn't put holes down low, and when it was getting ready to go into that pre-molt stage, you could tell because it stopped eating. I did kind of try to raise the humidity a little bit, and believe me, I'm not a humidity kind of guy. But I know that, in Venezuela it does get warm and it does get muggy, so I thought, try to help him along a little bit. But I've only sprayed down this enclosure twice since he's been in here. I tend to keep 90% of the stuff I have dry. I don't. I have too many to be spraying them down all the time, and that may be a cop out, and people are going to say, oh well, then you shouldn't have them. But again, I just don't get the whole necessity for what you think that they live with in captivity or in the wild, because they've never been in the wild. That's their habitat. When they're born in the wild, that's the habitat that they're in. That's the habitat that they are used to. That's the habitat that they thrive in. When you captively breed a spider, and again, I could be completely off base here, but this is just my opinion, and it could be scientifically proven or disproven, I'm sure. But when you captively breed a spider, and I have it in this enclosure its whole entire life, this is its climate, this is what it's used to, this is what it's adapted to. So sure, maybe some humidity might help them grow quicker, but I have not had any issues of spiders dying because I didn't have 80% humidity like it is in the rainforest of the Amazon jungle. Because you know what? This container is not the Amazon jungle. It is a plastic milk bone container from Dog Biscuits that lives in Pennsylvania. Right now, the temperature's in the 30-degree mark outside. So they've been around millions of years. They know what they're doing. I just try to watch them and see their habits, and if they change their habits, I try to understand why, try to change things if necessary, or keep things the same. Again, like I said, this one here, I made this enclosure with this particular specimen, this guy right here, in mind. Not Armenias in general, but this particular dude right here. And you can see he's moving around right there. I don't know if he's sensing the movement around, or if the roaches running around the outside are actually getting him to move, but I'm not going to try and coax him out, just so that we could get a picture of him. And again, you know, my videos, I'm going to ramble on some of them. I hope that's okay. I know I've had some feedback of people that are enjoying listening to me. I'm by no means an expert, not even close. A lot of scientific names I have a hard time saying verbally. I can say them in my head. I can spell them. I understand what some of them mean now, but I don't understand complete taxonomy of spiders. I don't have the time to study that stuff. And I think that's hopefully where I will relate with most of you out there in the audience, and the subscribers, is that I'm just an everyday normal keeper of tarantulas. Try to do the best I can with the means I have and the space I have, and raise them the best I possibly can, and hopefully give you guys videos and some, maybe some tricks and pointers, and be able to answer some questions on, again, how I do what I do. But how I do what I do may not be the same as, you know, somebody that lives in New Mexico, where their climates are different, and what they deal with there, where it's dry and hot, where here in the summer it gets extremely humid and muggy, because of the lake. We'll have 70-80% humidity a lot of the summer. So you'll see here, when we get to summertime here, you're going to see an extraordinary amount of tarantulas molting. Summertime is huge for teas molting anywhere, but here mine have gone crazy in the summer, which can be expected. Temperatures cool down, spiders slow down. I have had my share of molts here in the last few weeks, but that, again, rambling, but again, I hope you guys enjoy listening to what I have to say, and feel free to comment if you think I'm crazy, if you think I need to talk less. I'm not going to be one of those YouTube people that just, I mean, the feeding videos are great, but most of my spiders are small. They're mostly juvenile and slings, so you're not going to get the big attacks like you do with other ones. I have to feed mine a little bit more often. I can't wait a month to do my feedings, you know, and have big videos. I appreciate the videos from John 3800 and from Marilyn Moore. They have, you know, so many, and I love listening to Marilyn. She just makes keeping so much more fun. Her enthusiasm just makes it so much more interesting. I just don't have the patience to do 50 tarantula feeding video, the patience to edit it and all that stuff. I just have too much stuff going on. So I will do these type of videos where there'll be 5-10 of them. I'll talk. We'll do some hot topics. We'll do some advice. We'll try to do some care sheets for, you know, species specific, instead of genus specific, you know, because different brackies can be kept differently on what they like and what they do. Same thing with Psalmopoeus. So again, we're probably going to have to break this up into 2 series, maybe 3, which I didn't really want to do because I did talk quite a long time. Just with this guy, it's been 10 minutes of you listening to me looking at this enclosure. So have a good day, and we're going to do one more video by itself with my Grammostola species north.